it's always good to see Muslims showcasing Islam and that showing that they are Muslims. Like I always say, whether it's going to the masjid, showing that, showing you're praying, speaking about, or showing what you're doing in Ramadan, performing Umrah, Hajj, things like this. Particularly now when Muslims and Islam is people think is bad, so maybe you could understand if people hide their religion, but it's even better to show people showing that they're Muslims, even if it means they do sponsorships and money and whatever else. And now we have news about Djed Spence, and I believe he's a Premier League footballer for Tottenham. He posted something on a story or a post, I'm not sure, but this is what he said. We live in a world where we want things immediately, but all around us, Allah teaches us a profound lesson again and again. Everything is a process and takes time. Allah could have made a baby in a moment, but He designed it to take 9 months. A seed could have become a massive oak in a day, but He designed it to take hundreds of years. The Prophet's mission could have been completed in a year or two, but God designed it to take 23. You will not always see the fruits of your labor right away, maybe not even in your lifetime. Don't get discouraged. All things take time, and to all things is a process you cannot speed up. Therefore, success is dependent upon patience. One thing I want to quickly highlight: you will not always see the fruits of your labor right away, maybe not even in your lifetime. This is something that I want to express and focus on and highlight. We are supporting Palestine. People have been doing it for years. People have been doing it for decades. And many who have passed away and they have not seen freedom. And we are saying it's taking so long and we are not seeing anything. And we might not even see it in our lifetime. But we are doing our bit. We are not in charge of the end result. That's up to God when He does that and how that happens. But we can say we tried, we spoke up, we boycotted, we did whatever we could. And regardless of if we see it in our lifetime or not, maybe it happens after we pass away. But we did something, we did what we could do. We can say that we did our bit, we did what we could do in our capability, and we left the rest to Allah. Whether it happens now, whether it happens in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, whether it happens in 100 years, that's not up to us. But also, keep continuing. So if we have to keep boycotting, if we have to keep speaking, if we have to keep doing all of these things, if we have to keep marching and the different things that we've been doing, raising awareness and whatever, if you have to keep doing it again next year and the next year and the next year and for 5 years or 10 years or 20 years, keep going. And the result is up to Allah, but you contribute towards what you can. And this is important. And that's why I want to focus on that particular sentence. It might not happen in our lifetime, but we can try. And one thing that I just thought of now, I wanted to end it here, but I thought of it, so I will share it. When you build something for the future generation, you build it because you care about them, not because you will see it in your lifetime. Many of the people who built schools and hospitals and mosques and other things that we use today, they are not alive to see us and see us benefiting. But they were not selfish. They built it for the next generation, regardless if they would live to see us using it. Similarly, with when you build trees and other things, you're not going to see it. If it takes 50 years for a tree to build, you might not see it in your lifetime, but you're doing it with the benefit of people. And similarly, you might not see freedom in our lifetime, but we are doing what we can. The small changes that we can do, the small changes we can get into politics and parliament and whatever else, you add it up and maybe in 50 years you'll lead to something that we don't see. But if we just think, I'm not going to see it in my lifetime, so what's the point? Then those people who build the hospitals and the schools and whatever else, the mosques and all the other things that they built for us that we are using now, if they thought, I'm not going to see it in my lifetime, so who cares, and they only cared about themselves, then we'd be at a loss. So it's not all just about the now, it's about the future, and the future maybe even when we are not there. So this is something that I wanted to highlight from his entire message, and his entire message is positive, and we can benefit from. But this particular sentence we can particularly benefit from, particularly now when we think we're not seeing it, and will we even see it in our lifetime? It might not happen in our lifetime, but continue striving.